the globe. This week, in focus. This is Focus Earth with Bob Woodruff.
Hi, I'm Bob Woodruff, and welcome to Focus Earth. From here on the ground, it's hard to imagine that a battle is raging in these serene mountains, a fight over the future of Appalachia's coal country. But high above these hills, it becomes clear that this country is literally being ripped apart. On one side, those who say coal is in their blood. On the other, those who say coal is poisoning the land. And as you'll see, neither side is very willing to find the middle ground. It is only from a bird's eye view that you really get why West Virginia is called the Mountain State. That's beautiful. But on the ground, in the narrow valleys cutting through these mountains, the view is drastically different. When it comes to coal, there are two West Virginias. One, a state clutching hard to its coal-rich heritage.
For the area that we live in, coal's everything.
The other, a state fighting to move beyond it.
The coal industry come in and said, we're here to save you. Well, we didn't need to be saved at all.
These very different viewpoints are turning the heart of America's coal country into a minefield. This is why. It's called mountaintop mining. Just under the surface of these mountains lay some of the richest coal reserves in the country, more than 68 million tons of it, and it powers homes and cities in 33 states and 25 countries. Mining companies say the best way to get to the coal is to clear out any trees and vegetation, then use explosives to blast away the layers of earth covering the coal seams.
These dynamite blast explosions, as I call them, are so extreme that you can feel the ground shaking like in California before you hear the sound.
Larry Gibson has lived his whole life here in Appalachia's Coal River Valley. And he says he's seen the hills where his ancestors first settled turned into a wasteland by mountaintop mining. I can hear it from here.
It is now going through what I call Hell's Gate.
A few hundred yards from his house, just beyond the edge of his property, lies an active mountaintop mining site.
The elevation of these mountains used to be at 3,200 feet. In other words, you could not see the mountains around here because of this one.
This was a mountain?
No, this was a mountain.
This used to be a part of the 550 acres belonging to his family. Today, just 50 acres remain in his family's name. The rest bought out by what he calls cunning coal companies that took advantage of less educated relatives. What would your grandfather, your great-grandfather say if he saw this?
If he'd seen this right here, no doubt in my mind, he'd think the world was coming to an end.
But coal companies say sites like this one give West Virginia a new beginning. In a state struggling for economic stability and covered with steep mountains, flat land for development is hard to come by.
The geography dictates that.
That's why Gary White, head of a local coal company, says this kind of mining actually gives something back to these communities after their operations end. We took a ride in his company helicopter to see how some former sites have been turned into everything from prisons to golf courses and highways. So if this was not flat, you could not have put them here?
Oh no, where would you put them if you didn't have the flat land?
And he says they're required by law to restore former sites to as close to their natural state as possible.
As we surface mine, we plant certain quick-growing species, but that's just as a temporary cover because the Appalachian forest eventually will naturally regrow the entire area.
On the ground, we get a closer look at one of his mountaintop mining operations.
We're going to look at the active mining area.
So this is the former.
This is formerly
mining.
mined and reclaimed now.
So how much longer do you think you're going to be mining on this spot?
18, 19 months remaining, and over the next 5 years, as a mining company, we're responsible for making sure the vegetation's established, the water quality is kept up to specification.
But before the reclamation work will begin, there's still more mountaintops to be mined. You gonna put a golf course here?
No, we got
a driving range.
Yeah, maybe a driving range.
We flew over the top a lot of these former mining mountaintops, and actually the trees have grown back, the grass has grown back.
I don't know where they took you. They should take me.
They put golf courses on top of these. They put businesses on top of this.
You know, all us hillbillies, you know, we do need some golf courses, you know.
Larry says what his community and the nation does need is to be free from coal.
Bob, I'm gonna tell you, all my life, I've seen coal kill people. Black lung disease, cancer. I want to say something to you on national news. I call for the abolishment of coal.
The last holdout on this coal-rich mountain is taking on the powerful mining industry, and that's earning him plenty of enemies.
This here's a last resort, life or death.
In the Coal River Valley, taking a stand, he says, means taking his life into his own hands. Here in rural Appalachia, families and neighbors survive by holding together. But the controversy over coal has made that difficult. Now members of this community are being forced to take sides. The threat started about 13 years ago.
I've been run off the road several times.
Intimidation tactics against Larry Gibson, the sole resident left on top of this mountain in West Virginia's Coal River Valley. Since then, the tension has escalated.
This is where the bullet holes right here.
Did they find the bullet?
22s.
Larry says standing up to big coal has made him a target, so he carries protection at all times.
We've had 133 acts of violence. 4 weeks ago right here, we had a drive-by shooting. Daytime too.
These are from miners?
It could be some of these good old people that know me all my life. They've been told that they're going to lose their job because I'm sitting on this 50 acres.
In these mountains, that's just about everyone. There are about 244 mountaintop mines in West Virginia, and they employ more than 6,000 people.
We have people that work directly in the mines, make a good, decent wage, take care of their families.
If you end coal mining right here, how many people would actually remain in this town or
I think
leave?
If you had no coal mining activity at all, I would say 50% of them would be gone in 3 years.
And that could mean disaster in one of the poorest states in the nation.
In some fashion, economically, 8 out of 10 people would feel a financial setback.
But anti-coal activists say the health of their communities is worth any price.
They'll use 3.5 million pounds of explosives a day to blow the tops off these mountains. They'll take what they don't want and push it into the valleys and cover up the streams where we live.
Mountaintop mining is blamed for polluting streams and groundwater and destroying the Appalachian forests. And that's why this coal miner's daughter says it's time for the era of big coal to end.
Mountaintop removal, strip mining has to end today, right now, today.
And any jobs lost in the process will be acceptable casualties.
A job that poisons and blasts people, including your own children, is not a good job. How bad do we need to make a living?
That's a question Ed Wiley asked himself after years of working for a coal company.
The conditions were bad, a lot of dust up there. You got the toxic waste up there.
But he didn't realize the health risks until he picked up his granddaughter from school one day.
She turned and looked at me, and the tears was just pouring down her face. And she says, "Gramps, these coal mines are making us kids sick." That's when I woke up.
Marsh Fork Elementary School sits about a football field away from a coal processing plant. As a student there, Ed's granddaughter complained of headaches and difficulty breathing.
Here's a good example of what you're breathing and our children are breathing down here. This is black coal dust. There's no telling what kind of toxins are in it.
And on the mountain directly above the school, there's an active mining site and a dam like this one, holding back 2.8 billion gallons of toxic coal sludge.
This is a cock gun waiting to go off. This is willfully and knowingly leaving these kids in harm's way here.
Now the school has become the rallying point for Ed and others in the community who want to shut the mining operation down.
You're trespassing. We'd like for you to leave our property.
Well, I would like for you to keep your dust and your blasting fly rock off my property.
The fight has divided this community where many parents and even some teachers depend on the plant for their livelihoods.
There's only 2 or 3 locals in this bunch of people. That is it. The rest of them is from out of town.
But some very recognizable outsiders have also joined the cause.
We've blown up over 400 mountains already in this country, and we've killed thousands of miles of streams.
As you listen to them, listen to the rhetoric and listen to the emotionalism and sensationalism that they do, it's an embarrassment to our people to hear that kind of talk going on.
The industry says they follow strict state and federal guidelines here and at all sites close to residential areas. And that state-of-the-art engineering is used to ensure the safety of their miners and surrounding communities.
We're here and very proud of what we do, live close to where we work, so we're not going to do anything to spoil or mess up the environment.
But why does a mine have to be built above a school or next to a home?
We have to mine coal where the good Lord put it.
In terms of percentage in West Virginia, how many people oppose this kind of mountaintop removal?
I would say 75–80% of the people are okay with what we do.
And as long as West Virginia's coal continues to help fuel the country, that's not likely to change.
What's the future of coal mining here?
Well, obviously, we think it's the future of the nation.
In the end, the voices echoing through these mountains calling for an end to coal are loud but relatively few. But some things, they say, speak for themselves.
Even though we're Appalachians, we're mountain people, we still deserve the same basics as everybody else. A quality of life where we can breathe, where we can live.
It's a quality of life being fought for far beyond these hills too, where our country's affair with coal is having a corrosive effect on another mountain community.